And the story that Enid Lorimer will be telling you tomorrow is the story of The Butterfly That Stamped. The time now is 5 o'clock.
Hello there.
Hello.
Well, this dragon isn't quite as ferocious as he looks, as you can see. Oh, John and I were making the smoke there, and the dragon himself, and he's 15 feet 9 inches long, was made by Class 5 of the St Mary Abbot School at Kensington. And just like Rodney the robot, he's been made out of all sorts of strange bits and pieces.
Well, his head is based on a frame of chicken wire, and his body and legs have been made out of old pots and tins. He's then covered with papier-mâché and painted bright green.
Well, the thing I like about him are the trimmings. Now, these spikes along his back have been made out of old milk cartons. They've been painted bright orange with yellow on them. And then here the horns, they're made out of yogurt containers, covered with paper and all stuck down. And the steam coming out of his nose, the flame and fire here, has been made with cotton wool that's been wound round a wire frame.
Well, you probably recognise his eyes and his teeth, because they've been made out of something we use quite a lot of on Blue Peter, egg boxes. And he's also got egg box toes, and for claws, he's got drinking straws.
But I still think the best bit about him are the wings.
Yeah.
They've been made from this plastic packing paper, and that's been made onto a wire frame.
Well, the thing that I like best of all is his name, and it's Ilya Dragonarkin. Well, I think he'd cause quite a stir if he turned up on The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Yes, indeed. Well, you know, dragons like this were never real. They're purely imaginary. But once upon a time, there were strange and rather terrifying creatures which roamed the earth. And the first proof that they did do this was in stones like this. They're fossils. And they're parts of the skeletons of these strange prehistoric creatures which have lain dead and buried in the rock for so long that they've become part of the rock itself. Here's another one. And you can see these all over the country, in places where there's sort of rocky areas, if you look hard enough, particularly where there's sandstone or limestone. And here's another one. You find them in most extraordinary places, quite ordinary places. For instance, there's a place in Dorset called Lyme Regis. Well, today it's a very popular holiday resort, but 100 years ago it was just a seaside village. In a little house not far from the seafront, a cabinet maker named Richard Anning lived with his 2 children, Mary and Joseph. They were a simple, rather poor family, but Mary was one day to become one of the most famous inhabitants of Lyme Regis.
It all started when, as a tiny girl, she used to accompany her father in his frequent explorations along the beach, where millions of years before strange animals had roamed. Richard Anning was looking for their fossilized remains in the blue limestone rocks. When Mary was 11, her father died, and Mrs. Anning opened a fresh fish shop to support her 2 children. Mary continued to hunt for fossils, tapping away at the rock with her father's hammer. One day she came across a pretty snake-like fossil called an ammonite, which millions of years ago had been a shellfish at the bottom of the bay. While she was running home to show her mother, a visitor called after her and offered her ½ a crown for it. Proudly she took this home. "Look, Mother, now I can help to keep you and Joseph." From that day she spent as much time as she could, scratching here and hammering there, and putting her finds into a little wicker basket she carried over her arm. She displayed them next to the fish in her mother's shop, and people came from all over the district to buy her little pieces of rock. But what Mary wanted more than anything else was a really big find, and a few months later her dream came true. Deep in the rock she found the remains of a huge creature which looked rather like a crocodile. Unable to remove it herself, she hired some men to dig it out for her. It was worth the money, because Mary knew that such a large fossil would be very valuable. As the men chipped away at the rock, a huge skeleton was revealed. It turned out to be an ichthyosaurus, 150 million years old, the first complete specimen ever found. A crowd gathered to watch, and amongst them was Mr. Henley, the lord of the manor, who bought the ichthyosaurus for £23. When she grew up, Mary continued to search for fossils, taking her dog Fido with her. When she found an interesting specimen, she pointed to the spot, saying, "Down, Fido, down." And the obedient dog would remain there on guard while Mary went for help. Experts on fossils came from all over the country to visit Mary and look at her specimens. Many of them paid large sums for special items, and Mary gave this money to the poor and needy. And so the daughter of a humble carpenter grew up to be known as that eminent female fossilist, the heroine of Lyme Regis. Well, the fossilized skeleton that Mary Anning found was a fantastic discovery, and it made her very, very famous. And you probably think it's very unlikely that anybody could ever make such a lucky find again. Well, a few weeks ago they did. Just a little bit further down the coast at a place called Charmouth in Dorset, this was found. And this is a fossilized head of an ichthyosaurus. And it was found by 13-year-old Sarah Evans, who was on holiday there, and Sarah's come along to the Blue Peter studio today to tell us just a little bit about it. Well, Sarah, first of all, many congratulations for finding it. I don't think it's everyone who finds a fossil quite as large as this. Do you know what it weighs?
It's about 500 weight.
That's absolutely marvellous. Well, honestly, to me, it looks just like an ordinary old bit of rock. What made you first notice it?
Well, it was on the beach, and, well, this is the limestone, and, well, that's bone, you see.
So all the dark lines, in fact, are the bones of the ichthyosaurus?
Yes.
What exactly would this be, this particular bit?
Well, that's the jaw.
Right along there. This is marvellous, isn't it? Well, Sarah, you obviously can't keep such an enormous great fossil in your house. What are you going to do with it?
Well, we're going to put it in an acid bath and dissolve the limestone.
So that you're just left with the bones?
Yes.
Does this take a long time?
About a year.
Where are you going to do it? Not in your bathroom, surely?
No, in the back garden.
I see. That is absolutely marvellous, Sarah. Well, when it's done, can people go and see it?
Well, I'm not sure what we're going to do with it yet. We might keep it or send it to the Natural History Museum. We're not sure yet.
Well, I hope you do that, because I'd like to go and have a look at it when it's absolutely finished. And Sarah, I think you deserve a Blue Peter badge. Thank you very much indeed. The next time you happen to be down on the beach and you see an old rock like that, you better have a closer look at it, because you never know what it might be. Well, if you're wondering what a fully grown ichthyosaurus looked like, well, it looked like this. And although they did vary in size from 1 foot to 20 feet, the head that Sarah found would have obviously come from a great big one like this. And the bit that she's actually got is the long sort of pointed snout bit at the end there. Well, it looks like a fish, but in fact they were reptiles. They breathed with lungs and not gills, a sort of fish lizard. Well, I'm certainly very glad that they died out all that time ago, because I think if I was going along in a boat, I certainly wouldn't like to bump into one. Let's go over and join Chris.
No, for that matter, nor would I. Well, that ichthyosaurus must be about the oldest thing I've ever seen in the Blue Peter studio. But we've had news as well this week of something brand new, the latest strike aircraft that's being developed for the Royal Air Force, the Hawker Siddeley Kestrel P1127. Hovering above the trees is the newest supersonic fighter. It seems fantastic, but this aircraft needs no landing strip. They call it the Jungle Jet. For a clearing in the trees no bigger than a football pitch is all the space that this plane needs to make a perfect touchdown. Takeoff is no problem either, and within 13 seconds from touchdown, the P1127 was streaking away over the 50-foot trees at over 600 miles an hour. Well, it's certainly a good bit faster than some of the helicopters we've been flying in recently, yes. Yeah.
Well, I think we've got a tape actually for Joy, haven't we?
Yes, we have indeed.
We taped some of Joy's hellos, and I think we've got one now of Val
saying hello and see what he sounds. Sounds
yes.
just as if he is saying hello, in fact. So, can we play it?
Mm.
Hello. Hello. say hello. 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 Come on, say hello. Hello. Not quite as good an effort as when he was singing with his favourite group on Monday, was
I tell
it?
you what, shall we try him again?
Just
Doing
now,
our
come on.
hellos to him.
Hello, Joey.
Hello.
Hello, Joey.
Hello.
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 Joey.
Hello.
Hello. No, I think it's only when he wants to say
Yeah.
hello.
Yes, it is
Definitely.
indeed, yeah.
Well, the other day we had a marvellous present for Joy, and it's this bag of sunflower seeds. And they've come from sunflowers specially grown by Stephen and Russell Palmer of Leicester. And I think, you know, they must have taken an enormous amount of trouble to collect all these seeds and to dry them as well. It's
That'd be
fantastic.
terrific, aren't they?
Yeah.
Joey, you'll adore this.
We
Can
try.
can I have some?
I'll give you a handful.
Yeah, well, that's enough.
Hello.
Oh, not too much. I must give him too much. Come on, Joey. No, they're not for you. You don't like some.
Bats doesn't like them.
They're strictly for parrots. Come on, in. Come on, Joey, try them. Well, look, I'll put those in your
Put them
bin
in
here.
there.
Say thank you very much, Joey. That's the next thing you'll have to learn, won't you? There you are.
Splendid. Well, we're still being sent some very interesting postcards for our Blue Peter postcard album, which is steadily getting bigger and bigger. If I can open them, they're here on the back page. This is quite a feat, actually, opening this on your own. There they are, right down here on the back. And they're very interesting because they are all very old, and they've been sent in to us by quite a few different people, actually. Anne Lamont of Glasgow, Jennifer and Andrea Saunders of Surrey, and Craig and Nigel Casper of London. And the marvellous thing about them is that they're all beautifully embroidered. And they were sent during the time of the 1914-18 war, and they were sent home by the soldiers who were in France and Belgium to their families. And some of them have actually got little pockets. Here you can see them. Most attractive, with a little card inside there, so you could write a little private message if you wanted to. Very delicate. Thank you very much for sending them to us.
So, as you can see, thanks to you, we're getting I should say, one of the finest postcard collections in the world. I'd go as
Definitely,
far as to
and
say.
the biggest.
Yes, and of course, we've all put in our holiday postcards to remind us of some of the marvellous places we went to and some of the things that we did. Well, when you're out in the tropics like we were, twilight is the best time. After the sun has been blazing down all day, it's a great relief when at 7:15 every night it sinks below the horizon. Singapore's an island about the same size as the Isle of Wight, and I'm standing on one of its many beaches. And for all the world, I might as well be on a desert island 1,000,000 miles from nowhere. Yet, as the sun is sinking, only 3 miles away from here, the great city of Singapore is coming alive. Every night in Singapore there's a street market, and every night they set up the stalls in a different district.
Some people call them armors' markets because an armor is a servant and doesn't earn very much money. But you can afford to buy things here because this is where you can get the biggest bargains in Singapore. It gets dark here every night at 7 o'clock all the year round. And as soon as night falls, the stall holders light the naphtha lamps and everything sparkles and glitters and looks much more exciting than in daylight.
We weren't going out to buy things that night. We were going out to supper, Singapore style. This is satay. It's a traditional Malay dish, and we were told we couldn't leave Singapore until we'd tried it. We gave our order and went to a table.
Yes, lovely. In Singapore, they don't eat at home very much. Instead, they stroll round the stalls. When they see something they like, they stop and eat it, and then move on somewhere else. On every street corner, there's a stall with a coke fire cooking something or other, and the smell of Oriental food is everywhere. Everything is cooked after you've ordered it, and it arrives at the table fresh and piping hot. Satay is made of different kinds of meat, and we had chosen pork.
Do you like them? And a bit of cucumber. That's why you have the cucumber. You order satay by the number of sticks, and when you finish, they count the sticks on your plate, and they know how much to charge you. Joel? Well, we'd better move on and have our last course then. We decided to move to another stall, but as we walked away, we heard a peculiar sound, so we went to find out where it came from. It was a wayang, a Chinese opera. Everything, stage, scenery, lights, the whole lot is set up on a street corner.
We were told that the wayang had started at 7 o'clock and it would go on until midnight. So as we hadn't the slightest idea what it was all about, we thought we wouldn't be staying until the end.
All the delicious food hanging from the stalls made us feel very hungry. That satay wasn't a meal, only a snack. So we decided to have our main meal right here.
Before you start your meal in a Chinese restaurant, they bring round lovely hot towels to wipe your hands and face, and it's very refreshing in that hot climate.
Lovely smell.
It's like a menthol smell.
Yeah. Good evening.
Beef soup.
Yes. Sweet and sour pork.
Sweet sour pork.
Good.
And
Rice?
fried rice.
Yes.
Fried rice, yes. And good enough, thank you.
That's lovely, yes.
Yeah,
Very
fine.
pretty. Thank you.
We weren't absolutely certain what we were going to get, but it all sounded very nice.
Even setting the table was different. There were no knives and forks and plates like we have at home, but a lot of little bowls and jugs that look more like a doll's tea set than things to eat your supper with.
I haven't used these before, have you?
The kitchen is just on the other side of the counter, and the chef was chopping up our meat into bite-sized pieces while we were practicing with our chopsticks.
Do you know how you do them?
Well, I rather like to put the ends of your fingers.
Oh.
We didn't have very long to wait before the first course was ready and the waiter was on his way back to our table. It all looked very strange, but by this time I was so hungry I'd have eaten anything.
Have yours.
Yes.
All right. Do you like bean shoots?
Yes, lovely.
An onion. That's enough to start with, I think. The Chinese don't seem to have a set order for the courses. They just bring the things to the table when they're ready. Oh, thank you.
No, you don't have that. No, I can't do it. No. Oh, please, yes.
It really is very tricky until you get the hang of it. It's rather like trying to write with 2 pens at once.
Yeah, let me see if I can. That one like that? And then that one there. So it moves with that. Like that.
Thank you.
Oh! I can't do it.
Yeah, that's right.
I got it.
We didn't realize the time, but it was midnight, and there we were sitting out in the street eating supper, the temperature up in the 80s, and the city was still wide awake. Chinese meals are enormous. As soon as we finished one dish, another one came, so we had to eat jolly fast to keep up with them all. When we'd finished, we walked on down the road until we met a Malay pushing a trishaw, loaded with a strange-looking fruit.
Oh, Chris, look.
Durian?
Fruit.
Sweet? This one.
You're going to try some?
How much?
$5.
$5? Okay. You cut.
Rather special for it's quite long, isn't it?
You appreciate what you
Durian is a Malay speciality, and we were in Singapore at the height of the durian season. They don't harvest it, they wait for it to drop down from the trees when it's ripe. It tastes delicious, but it has one marked disadvantage. Now,
Oh, Chris, it's horrible. No, I'm not going to have it. You can eat it. Oh, it smells awful.
a lion dance had just started in the middle of the Padang, a wide open space in the middle of town. The lion dance was by no means over yet. Like the Wayang, it goes on for about 4 hours. The Chinese work hard all day and play hard all night. In fact, every hour of the day and night, there's always something happening in the swinging city of Singapore. Well, they certainly have to work hard inside that lion. There are 2 of them inside it, and in that temperature, it gets very, very hot indeed. And not only that, but you have to be a really good acrobat to be a member of the lion dance team, but they take a terrific amount of pride in making the heads themselves. They put a terrific amount of work into
They're
it.
beautiful, though, aren't they? I think, in fact, they've got to be very good craftsmen.
Indeed.
Well, in fact, while you two were enjoying yourselves out there in Singapore, I heard of a new game that's all the rage in another foreign country that's out your way, Japan. And what you need are lots of these beach rings. And the idea is to jump into them one at a time and try and get them right up to your neck. And the first one who gets them up to your neck is the winner. I'll show you how to do it. See, you just jump into them and carry on like this until it builds up to your neck.
Can you use your hands?
Oh, no, you can't use your hands, no.
Not at all?
No, you just got to jump. Well, shall we have a competition? Right, let's have a
That's what you were
go.
going to ask, wasn't it?
You give the countdown, Chris.
Okay, right. All set?
Yes?
On your marks. Get set. Go.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh,
You tried to do it once. I've lost count. 1, 2, 3, 4,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
6, 7, 8. Oh, nearly got 2 at once there.
7.
I've got one sticking up there. 9. You've got to be careful you don't fall. Because if you fall, you'll find yourself rolling.
I lost count too. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've got the same as you, Fred. 10. I've got one on it. 10.
Here, you're taking part in many.
I'm losing.
11.
10.
Oh, 4. 11.
Oh, thank you.
I keep losing count.
11.
13.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Well,
One for you, Chris.
right, I don't know if we can get them on. Oh, how many have you got? How many have you got?
12, we're equal.
12, we're equal.
11.
Hard luck, Val.
Oh, you see.
Come on, John and I are equal winners. Well, what have we got on Monday? Whoops.
Oh, we've got Jason's grandkittens coming again. They're now 4 weeks old.
Yeah. And, oh, yes, and we're having some bicycles in the studio that are powered by batteries. So, see you all on Monday. Bye-bye. Oh.
Come on, jump into that one.